What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Band of Barbers podcast. I am once again your host, Devon Evans. And thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Um, Today it's not going to be, hopefully, not a long episode, but guys, just follow along with me. And today, if I had to title this episode, it would be embracing your your ups and downs, right? And understanding also that like every day is not your day. It's just not. Every day is not your day, especially in the barbershop. Some days are better than others. And for most barbers, and they'll tell you like some days it's crazy busy, some days it's crazy slow. And I tell people when they're interested in coming into this industry, understand that you can build up your clientele, but it takes time. Number one. Number two, you also have to understand, right? You have to understand the tendencies of human beings, right? You have to understand the tendencies of human beings in, and I'll say this, in every economic status, right? So that's low, middle, and high class. You have to understand their tendencies and what moves them in every single class of society, right? You right now we have the holidays coming up, and we know people are spending hundreds of millions, probably to the tune of quite a few billions of dollars for Christmas. So their expendable income to take care of themselves, your every week client might might only get their haircut right before Christmas. And then again before New Year's. Like that might be the only times that they get their haircut this year. In this month. And you have to understand that, and you have to prepare for that. Yes, and there will also be people who you don't see all the time that come in for their, you know, semi-annual trim, right? And you have to prepare yourself for that. A lot of people think, oh, I work for myself now, and I'm a barber and I'm always going to be busy. Most barbers will tell you the truth, they're not busy every day. I will be honest. Do I have a steady flow of clientele? Yes. Am I busy every day? No. Could I be busy every day? Yeah. But I'm also not a robot. And I don't desire to work as if I am a robot. That's me personally. Right? Now, if I was 18, 19, 20, somewhere around there, man, all day I'd live in there. Live in the shop. But I have kids, I have a wife, I have elderly grandparents, my parents are older. I've got, you know, younger siblings. Like I've got other responsibilities besides this. I was okay with what I chose to do in the shop because it gave me freedom to be able to take care of those things. And like I say, guys, all and just as the rule always goes, and the rule that I've always said, I can't complain about somebody that's getting money that spends way more time in the shop than I do. I'm glad you are. At one point, I could do that. I could stay in a shop for hours on end. I have he's a toddler now, but I have a small child. I have a small child. I have an older child who plays sports. My wife works and she does a lot of different things, and she has commitments in the evenings and things like that. But I don't complain about it. Right? So does that affect sometimes that I can't get to, this person at this time? I can't get to this person at that time. It does. It does. Sometimes being out of the shop is can set you back a little bit. And when I say set you back, it'll you know you just have to understand, man. Like you guys don't want to be robots. Not every haircut is going to be your best. I don't care. Like it's just not right. And for people who are chasing this idea of perfection, and I'm going to do uh so on and so forth. Like over the years, my standards as far as haircuts have changed. And yes, I hold myself to a high standard. I do hold myself to a high standard, but my clientele has not shrunk, it has grown. And when I have moments where when I do cuts that don't come out like I want them to, it does do something to me, but at the same it does do something to me, kind of mentally, but at the same time, like I know that where I feel like I dropped the ball today in my career now was a good haircut 4 or 5 years ago for me. 10 years ago for me. That was a picture where I feel like I dropped. That was a picture worthy haircut years ago. And it's levels. And sometimes you guys argue like we're artists. You guys are going to be difficult on yourself if you really care about this art form. You're going to be hard on yourself, and it's okay. But just make sure that you forgive yourself. Don't hold all of this stuff so tight to you and beat yourself up. Right? One of the barbers I used to work with, when we'd have conversations and discussions about, man, I'm really not like that haircut wasn't that great. And he was aware that I was learning, changing, and becoming better. And he would say one thing to me. He said, "Did you get paid?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Now, I'm not saying that that's all that matters. You caring about the fact that you didn't like the way this haircut came out is good for you as a barber. But you didn't have any arguments. You didn't have any issues with the client, and they paid you." He said, "They paid you?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Did they tip you?" He said, "Yeah." So they liked it. You may not have liked what you did, but they did. And you have to keep that in mind. Yes, you should always be seeking to improve, but don't beat yourself up if you make a mistake. Right? Nobody, and think about it, guys, like an athlete. Everybody plays, you know, if you're playing basketball, you're not going to hit every shot. You're going to miss one or two. And I saw a conversation a while ago in one of the Facebook barber groups that I follow, and a guy was saying something about, you may drop, one or two during the week, or you may miss a couple during the week, especially when you're cutting at a high volume. And there were some other barbers that was like, "That's terrible advice," and da 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 da. No, that's realistic. You're not a robot. So that's realistic. That's real. That's how that goes. If a human involved, there's always opportunity for error. So you guys really need to think about that and look and maintain so you may have some setbacks. That's okay, but you stay strong and say I'm learning. Because guess what? As a barber, you're always learning. You should always be learning. Every client is a different. Um, every client is a different canvas, right? It's a different project. It's a different sculpture. It's different, and the material required to work on that, although your process or your system may be the same, what you're doing as far as like I said, although your system may be the same, your system has to change based on the curvature of the head. Does the client have indentions in their head? Do they have this? Do they have that? It changes, and you have to understand that. You have to be okay with that. Okay, you just do. All right. Also, in that same light, like, look, guys, like, acknowledge when you're doing something right. Don't spend so much time, oh, I did this wrong. Like, don't get so caught up in what I like to call the winner's mentality, right? I'm not saying think like a loser. I'm saying don't get so caught up in the winner's mentality. If you do a good haircut, celebrate that. Take a photo of it. Do those sorts of things. Do it. Do it. One of the biggest things that I regret early on in my career was doing good haircuts, right? And not taking pictures of it. I didn't take any pictures of it. And that's just it is what it is. Right? And so, we make sure that we compliment ourselves on the don't just look for validation from other people. Validate yourself. Oh, I did a good job on that haircut. This is what I liked. This is what I didn't like. This is so on, all of these things, right? You've got to celebrate the growth. Celebrate the growth. Celebrate like, man, I really did that good because, before I really struggled with that. Now I'm getting really good at it. Celebrate it, right? Change your mindset from looking for something negative to looking for the positive in it. Look for the positive. All right. And also look to just take care of yourself. Take care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. Take care of yourself, learn, grow, and build. Right? Learn, grow, and build. Don't beat yourself up. Every day is not going to be your day. Right? If you're a sports fan, look, Kobe Bryant scored 81 points one game in his entire career. One game in the entire career. Should that have been his standard? He missed shots, made shots. Should 81 points have been his standard? I'm just asking. And if that's the way you feel, I'm sorry. That I'm sorry, because that must be very, very, very tiring to feel that way constantly. But I say that, and I'll be honest with you, I've been there. I've been there. I know how it feels to be on to just be on yourself constantly, holding yourself to such this extreme standard. Even a robot is designed with error in mind, and you're saying as a human being that you're not going to make any mistakes and everything you're going to do is going to be pristine. Okay. All right. Relax, guys. Take it easy. It's please take it easy. Don't do this to yourselves. Don't overthink it. Don't overstress it. Come up with a plan on how it. Don't just sit there and beat yourself up. If you made a mistake, okay, cool. Now go in and process what it is that, how you can fix this and how this cannot happen again. Because see, that's how you grow. When you go in, when you, I recognize that I made a mistake. What did I do? How did I make this mistake? Sit down, get with your thoughts, think about it. Okay, well, I did this, and then I did this, and then I did this. All right, well, that really doesn't add up. That really doesn't. Yeah, man, that's it. That is absolutely it. All right, guys, remember, if I've never said this before, I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of you guys for what you do. I'm proud of you guys for everything. I'm proud of you guys for being a human being. Be a human being. It's okay to fail, make mistakes, have errors, and everything. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Take time, come up with a plan. Look at how you're going to improve it. It's fine. I tell you that it is. I'm living proof that it's okay. I, I need you guys to understand that I went to a military high school, and then I was in the Marine Corps for 7 years. I did all of that time. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I held myself to this Marine Corps standard so high, so this. And, you know, I was talking to someone one time, and they broke it down for me because I was like, I just can't do the things that. He said, one, you're older. He said, and two, when did you ever do anything in the military without a team? And I said, oh. He said, everything in the military was done as a team, whether it was large unit leadership or small unit leadership, there was a team. And guess what? The people that you were working with had the same training that you did, so they understood the language. Now you are here in a world where people don't always understand what you're talking about functioning in this world, and you're still holding them and yourselves to this high standard of execution. He said, now, we always talked about accountability in the Marine Corps. He said, but your accountability is not the same here. It's just not. And I took that and I internalized that, and I took a deep breath and I relaxed. Because for the first time, somebody told me it's okay to make mistakes. And for the first time in a long time, Somebody told me it's okay to make mistakes. You are one of one trying to do what you once did with teams of people. They could pick up the slack for you. You have to pick up the slack for yourself. So, which means that you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have errors. Things are not going to go the way that you want them to go because you're dealing with a bunch of people in this world who may not have had the same training or upbringing as you. It is what it is. Either way, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you guys for tuning in. It has been a wonderful time talking with you guys. Today is episode, I believe, 57. We're almost at 60, guys. We're almost at 60. And, I'm excited. As always, I'm so excited. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble and discuss my life behind a chair and the insights that I see. I really appreciate it. I really share it with you guys because it means a lot to me. It does. It means a whole lot to me. And I just felt that somebody needed to hear this. And I'm glad that you guys chose to listen today. I appreciate you. We'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks again.